Hey gang, Andy over here at Falco. Hey, sorry for the delay. I know that we were trying to get these things out once a week, but I got to tell you, we have just been running ragged. Sherry, Dan, myself, Elias, just going nuts, just trying to keep up with all the happenings that are going on around here. Not that it's not fun, but it's just hard to get a time to sit down on the old computer here and send out this video. This being video blog 005. One of the things that has been coming up recently is about a little bit about the bed bug stuff. So I know the police people and the pet dog stuff who probably come and tune in and hope to find a video on something new. I apologize for this video blog. We're going to talk a little bit about business. And you know what? It has to do with narcotics detection dogs working in the schools and bomb dogs working in malls, whatever the case, under a private industry type of umbrella. Whether you're an entrepreneur, you're working for a security company, or you're developing your own bed bug detection dog services to subcontract with places like Orkin and Western and Terminex, or whatever the case is. What I want to do is I want to make sure that you understand that there's some things you need to be responsible for and to be aware of as you're starting a new industry or into this new industry of bed bug dogs, or starting into the security business where you're going to be doing searches at schools and that kind of thing. Just because you have a dog, or just because you have a website that talks about you and your dog and what academy you went through and your certification, all that kind of stuff, does not mean that business is going to start coming through the windows and the doors. You know, the phones don't just ring just simply because you have a dog and because your video site is cool. There's going to be some work that's going to be involved, and you know, if you're going to be an entrepreneur, you got to be able to put up with the very, very lows and not get too excited when there's a medium high to very, very high moment in your business's lifetime. And so these things are normal. I already know of a couple handlers who just after a couple months of being in the industry are already pulling the plug because they're not getting any work. Totally just not something. I'm trying to come up with the words without upsetting anybody, but it's just kind of crazy to me that you would spend that much money, spend that much time learning something, and not give it 6 months to a year of hard work. Now, if you need to have a part-time job on the side while you're developing your business, if you need to have a full-time job and develop your business on weekends only or at nights, you know, that is something that every entrepreneur who is successful or has gotten a business off the ground will attest to, that there's mostly 14 to 16 to 18-hour days. I know that there's been times where I've gone even longer than that in the process of a day for my business. And I started this back in essentially 1989, but it really became a business in 1995. And there's been many a week where we've worked 7 days a week, 14 to 15-hour days without a break, and have had very little to show for it, or we're able to bring something together that gave us a really big boost, or some big contract or something like that. And it's all necessary. When you own your own business, that's just what has to be done. And there's many people out there that I hope will that are either thinking about becoming bed bug detection dogs, subcontractors, or bomb dog handlers, or narcotics dog handlers, who understand that the dog and the website alone aren't going to bring you the business. There's a lot of things you have to keep in mind. There's some old school type of advertising in yellow pages and magazines and in newspapers and radio that will work to some extent, but just really aren't working to the same level as the new type of marketing, which has to do with social media, networking, and doing the trade shows and the other things that need to be done. Trade shows, I guess, will fall on the side of old school, but how you handle yourself in the trade shows is there's some new school stuff you have to be aware of, and that in particular is social media. These things include YouTube, Facebook, Tumblr, Twitter, some of the Daily Motion, other types of video websites, and ping.fm. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff that if you were to look at what we're doing, we're probably on about 10 to 15 social media websites, if not more than that. I actually have a list, I think it's 3 pages long, of usernames and passwords to social related media that we're doing business on to gain our marketing niche in the industry. And it's working. Today we sold 2 bed bug detection dogs, a security dog for narcotics and patrol, and it's all from our social media. Uh, and you know, it's just something that has to be done. You have to be aware of, and you have to do. And it takes time, and there's a learning curve. It's not something that's going to be put together in a month of time. We are working hard with Rollins Corporation. We just put somebody in place at Western. And, you know, there's some people that are coming to us and saying, what are you doing for my business? How are you going to make my business better? Somebody came through the door the other day and said, you know, you're not doing anything for my business. Well, we trained the dog. We trained you how to use the dog. That is the gist of Falco Canine Academy. It just so happens that on the side we are creating a lot of potential work for everybody by what it is we're doing on a day-to-day basis with Rollins in particular and with the MPMA. And these things too take time, and it's going to take some time for us to get everything worked out, especially when it comes to certifications and that kind of thing. So we're hoping that most of you are going to be patient. I'm going to make sure I covered all my bases here, but make sure you're just patient. You work hard. Sometimes it means driving somewhere. I know that I've offered a couple jobs to some people, and it might have been 2 to 3 hours away, and they wanted a hotel, and I kind of laughed, but make the drive. I had a job up in San Luis Obispo. It's about a 5-hour drive. It might have been a little bit more, I can't remember. But a 5-hour drive one way to do about a 45-minute search, and then drove the 4 to 5 hours back and went back to work. We were back here by noon, and I worked the rest of the day until about 8 or 9 o'clock at night, and started that morning at 4 o'clock in the morning. So it's not unusual, again, to do those things. And I thought it was very good for us to go out there and work for Abercrombie & Fitch. We were working under a Western exterminator technician. So I got to meet those folks, they got to see us, they got to see our dogs, and I think it was better for us all together. The money we made on the job wasn't nearly enough to cover our expenses, but I think that the marketing aspect, the investment of time and going out there. Now, we can't build a business by doing that every day and every week, but we can start a business by doing that from time to time, especially now in the beginning of this industry. So hopefully some of you will keep that in mind. I hope I haven't upset anybody. I know that there's some of you probably watching this that have been really frustrated and not getting business right away and getting your business off the ground. But we did talk about these things in our class. If you're watching this and you're not part of our organization or our academy, I'm here to tell you that we cover that in our academy, that it takes time. You have to network. You have to do some things for free. You got to show people who you are and why you are better than the next guy. And that is part of the process. So I hope this has helped. I hope it's given you a little boost, a little kick in the butt to get you going and to stay positive. And if we happen to throw something your way, if it takes you a little drive to get there to do the job, and maybe you're not going to make tons of money on it, it might be worthwhile to do it on a marketing standpoint. So I hope that helps. We're looking forward to our next video blog. I'm going to try to get to it in just a day or two. It'll be on obedience or aggression. I'm not quite sure exactly which one I want to tackle for the next one, but it'll be one of those. It'll be a part 2 for aggression and a part 1 for obedience. All right, take care. Talk to you later. Bye.